Rowdy Roddy Piper. He discovers a pair of special sunglasses that the ruling class are aliens concealing their appearance and manipulating people to spend money, breed, and accept the status quo with subliminal messages in mass media. It originally received negative reviews criticizing its social commentary. Weird. You can criticize its acting all you want, and it had a 6-minute fight scene which was just ridiculous. Two guys try to beat each other to death with like garbage can lids, and it went on for 6 minutes, and they would have been dead in the first 30 seconds. It was just unbelievable. But you can criticize the acting, you can criticize a lot of the things about it, but social commentary, why would you criticize? Oh, that's right. Oh, I got community posts now, so I can post your Comicsgate project. So let me know. And if you want me to do a video where I edit your writing, hit me up. And if I say so myself, I am great at editing writing. The worst part about censorship is, this is a variant caught changing cover by our very own, or Africa's very own, Miss Sashi, who is fan freaking fantastic. She's on Twitter and YouTube. Amazing touch to her magic fingers. Stories like this, this is just par for the course. It's all leading to the same place. So if they want to accelerate it, then go ahead. Fewer people are watching TV anyway, and more people are waking up to Hollywood's agenda. People look at the milquetoast, soy, just pussy stuff on the mainstream, and they eventually start to wake up and see the propaganda. The shows they got rid of are not edgy or even pseudo-edgy like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Aqua Teen Hunger Force was mildly amusing stoner humor for late-night laughs. It was good, but it was as edgy as butter. Mainstream shows are already pretty dull. And that's what I'm talking about with It's Always Sunny. It's not that show was so well written and brilliant. It was okay. It was good. It had some high points, but in comparison to everything around it, it was good. Because everything around it is like when you see It's Always Sunny, you realize all the other stuff on TV is just oatmeal. And you're finally given a little sentiment or something. Anyway. Mainstream shows, God, they're just like the opiate of the masses. So now they're going to remove anything that had any actual humor in it. Every season they lose a few viewers to alternative media like YouTube. Then YouTube starts censoring, so people go to DLive and Bitchute. And DLive is actually getting serious numbers. Nick Fuentes, Salty Cracker, Owen Benjamin, and a bunch of other wrong thinkers are getting over 1,000 people in their live streams. Last night during the debates, Fuentes had, I think he hit 36,000 on a DLive stream. That is amazing, and it's more impressive when you realize that DLive has a much smaller platform than YouTube. It's probably 1%, but they get they're growing fast. And the cool thing about these alt tech platforms is that the audience is there because they know what they want. So they're like a more dedicated fan base. My BitChute videos get more views than my YouTube videos, which should be mathematically impossible. And it's because BitChute doesn't push or throttle channels. It's just whatever's up there gets shown. There is no astroturfing like with the Logan Brothers or those sorts of MTV circa 1990 channels where everything is fake and LGBT. But BitChute's not going to be a replacement for YouTube anytime soon. But DLive actually is a valid competitor right now. And just because there are tons of channels that used to be on YouTube, and some names I don't even want to say on YouTube because the algorithm will pick it up. There's like over a dozen very good high quality channels that YouTube has just kicked off, and you look at YouTube live streams now and you're scrolling through and you realize, oh, it's night, it's 7, 8 o'clock, and there's no live streams of something that interests me. And then you go to DLive and realize, oh, okay, there are actually a half dozen live streams. So, they're getting over 1,000 viewers every night. and I've slowly found myself watching more DLive, and it's organic. It's not because I'm angry at YouTube. DLive is like early South Park when they just didn't give a rat's ass. YouTube has become The Simpsons when they, started replacing characters of the wrong race. YouTube is Blair White and Shoe on Head. Everything on YouTube feels 2016 because after they lost their minds from Trump derangement syndrome, all the channels that supported him slowly got kicked off. They were terrified of meme magic. And you notice that a lot of the SJW cringe channels have disappeared. YouTube changed the rules to punish clipped content because they didn't want the narrative challenge. Even something as innocuous as laughing at SJWs had to be showed the door because it was shining a light at how intolerant, petty, and evil SJWs are, which slowly erodes support for left-wing causes. It's hard to take something seriously when it's the subject of parody. What hurts the left the most is just showing them, giving them enough rope to hang themselves. So YouTube changed the rules to make it harder to monetize content that challenged the narrative. And some channels had no content violations or terms of service problems. They just heard the propaganda, so YouTube just got rid of them. Even middle-of-the-road stuff like Molyneux or Alex Jones, anyone that makes you question the mainstream propaganda. Alex Jones was pretty clever because he was so ridiculous, but he slipped in red pills in between the clownish antics, and that was verboten to Google. He would call Hillary a demon, but then he'd explain that it was a metaphor, but it brought attention to how evil the Clintons really are. Adult Swim is called adult. Aren't adults capable of making their own decisions? That's what censorship is. It's telling an adult he can't eat a steak because it's too tough for a baby. Thank you, Mark Twain. It's like everything in 2020 is a participation prize. When did people turn into such giant pussies? I thought liberals didn't trust the media. The whole spirit of the 60s is totally gone. You see all these idiots wearing masks, which is fine. It's their choice. But they're wearing them alone in their cars. Either they're doing it as a political statement or they've been brainwashed by CNN. I saw an interview with Sean Penn and his girlfriend. They were at home and wearing those flimsy dust masks, not even the N95s. It kept slipping down over his giant nose. They live together, they sleep together. Do they wear their masks while sleeping? The left used to be pro-free expression. The ACLU used to protect civil liberties. They no longer protect First or Second Amendment groups. They are a far-left group controlled by globalists. Somewhere in the 90s, the left wing abandoned free expression because you can't have an authoritarian socialist state and free expression. People will simply start talking about how they're taking the bus, but the puppet masters have Ladas and Dachas. So when the left started gaining power in the 90s, they knew that they had to shut down free speech. You can't have a debate on immigration if the topic is verboten, which is their goal, the complete destruction of the West while they distract you with sports and rap videos. It's peak Weimar. When a woman who admitted drugging and robbing men sings about how her vagina lubricates when she is aroused, that is something a 15-year-old would find amusing. I assume most of her fans are developmentally disabled. Should she be publicly caned? Probably. The people who control the media are trying to dumb down their audience as much as possible, which makes it easier to sell them on bad ideas. Hey guys, why don't we just start printing more money? Wow, Wang is a genius. Then we could use money as wallpaper. You wouldn't be able to buy anything with it, but it would look nice. Hey, let's get off the gold standard and let bankers run the world. Yeah, that'll work out great. But I digress. Where was I going with this? Censorship is mind control. If you control the media, you control the narrative. You can control how and what people think and feel. Once you take the red pill and start seeing the propaganda, you'll never unsee it. It's like they live. You start seeing monsters everywhere because they actually are everywhere. It's just a cartoon made by and for degenerates. Don't take it so seriously, bro. Then why didn't they leave it up if it was just a cartoon? Why'd they feel the urge to censor it? The one thing I find funny about Cardi B is she does these Instagram posts where she won't show her face when she's doing these videos because what she looks like with makeup, you wouldn't recognize her without makeup. And I'm not saying she looks good or bad. It's just like without makeup, she just looks like your next door, I don't know, neighbor, someone who works in the grocery store. With makeup, she looks like, a rap star, whatever she is. Singing about how her vagina self-lubricates. Yes, that's the function of the organ. That's what it's supposed to do. It's like saying, your mouth salivates when you see a piece of chewing gum or hot sauce or something. Yes, it's a reaction. That's like, children would find that amusing. WAP. It's fucking genius. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, guys. I'll see you on the next episode.